We're live.
Yeah,
right. We are live, and we should have some music to introduce us. I think it would be.
I got it, guys. Bone Dungeon. Infernal Bones. And the Hallowed Bones as well. It's a bone dungeon where bones come together in the form of a skeleton. It's the Bone Dungeon! People gonna get some XP when they slash in the monsters in the dungeon! I think it is a sentient AI that's keeping everything together, but I don't actually know the story. Yeah. Bone Dungeon was filmed in front of a live television studio audience.
Bone Dungeon. Perfect. I don't know. Do you think? I think maybe there's something better though. Like I think maybe someone else might have done
pretty
some
top
music
drawer.
for Bone Dungeon. Ahmed, are you? There it is. Yeah,
Let's find a
that's
kiss.
exactly what I was thinking about. It's kind of weird that he coincidentally had this on him. He's like, you know what? Let's show him the
For
real...
music with instruments, it's okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Dungeon.
I like the chunkin'.
Yeah. Rocking the taikos.
Fulgurn. Look at that.
Hey.
You know, I feel like he did exactly, what we imagined, like how we opened it.
I think so.
Yeah. Brilliant work, Ahmed.
Brilliant.
Was that only in the third book, Hallowed Bones? That tune that we just heard, or was that
Hallowed. I think it's Hallowed Bones, not Hollowed.
Hallowed Bones. I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce words sometimes.
Yeah.
So
you like to do it for a living or anything.
I don't do so good with words.
So when did that come in? Was that from book one even? I don't remember that one being from book one. Wow.
Book one.
Wow.
Okay. OG.
All the way back in book one. Yeah, it's really great music. I'm really happy that we are featuring Hallowed Bones today, the entire series. And we have Johnathan Smidt with us. Oh no. Low robot audience. So yes, we have Johnathan Smidt with us today, and we will be interviewing him. And also, what else do we have going on today? We have Julian Child.
Yes, Julian
He's
Child
back.
will be making an appearance. He's here. He's very excited to tell you about the latest trend in the world. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything. So yeah, he's back.
It will change your life.
We've been waiting. We've been waiting for him to come back.
I know.
And we also
He's so hard to book.
He is.
He's really exploded since Love in the Time of Corona. That got him a ton of Insta followers, and now he's just,
right.
The rest is history, right?
Exactly. So then we have another request, and it's another edition of Oh Shit, I Fucking Hate Spiders by Dustin Tigner. But I don't remember, is this one a legit one, or is this a
This is legit.
One?
This one's legit.
Ooh.
All right,
yeah.
Cool. So we'll be doing that, and then just another edition of Gary's games, and we've just been addicted to A.I Dungeon. We can't help ourselves.
That's so much fun.
Gary Dose.
Yes.
Gary Simmons has been telling Gary Dose number 2. He is
Spanish
saying,
version.
Yes, he is saying that the A.I Dungeon AI has not been with it lately. So, I mean, that may potentially be even more amusing than...
It deals weirdly with swear words now, so as
Okay.
not to make real cringy sentences that to us are just like, oh, you can't say that. Like, legally, you can't say that. So now it's like,
Okay.
okay, we're just going to deal with no swear words for you today.
All
Something like that. Gyarados has a far better handle on it than I do.
Okay. All right. Maybe he'll enlighten us in the chat here pretty soon. Before we get to Julian Child, is it Child or Childs?
Child. Just
Julian
one.
Child. Before we
S.
get
Zero. No S.
before we are visited yet again by Julian Child, let's go through a little bit of news. We have
The news. Dun, 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 dun. Can we get that? Can we get that sound, Ahmed?
Soundbooth news.
Dun, 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 dun. This just
There you go.
work. This works. This is Sesame Street news.
This
okay.
just in, I'm a Muppet.
Yeah, the Muppet news, right?
This just
right,
in,
and candy.
the letter F. F.
For fudge.
Fudge.
So, our news for today,
I
we
love
have
fudge.
releases. We have releases. We have Space Buns Episode 3 just released on our platform. today. Yes.
that's
really
like this if you're German. That's
Yeah.
like this if you're German.
Not like this.
Do
Yeah.
not mess that up if you are an undercover American
Yeah.
spy in Nazi Germany.
Yeah,
Just saying.
don't do that.
You'll
Don't
get
mess it
shot
up.
in your eggs.
Mhm.
Everybody will.
And so, Space Buns Episode 3 is out, and we will be every
He's on.
month.
Chuck,
Every month.
Chuck
One
on
Space
the
Bun.
ones and twos. Just. Oh yeah. Oh, that's
Um,
great.
Also, besides Space Buns, we have Tales of a Northblood just hit Audible yesterday. So if any of you
Hey.
guys are still, we're very scared. Why is our audience robot and slow today? It's really,
Because they're a special. They're a special
cool.
audience.
um
Yes.
See?
We love you.
It's their nightmare audience. Okay, so yes, so any of you who have been scared of our app, have been afraid of us, of our independent app, it's okay. Shh, 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 it's okay. You can go to Audible and buy Tales of the Northblood now.
Just go to Sweet Mama Audible.
Yes, and
She'll
we-
embrace you and keep you warm.
Yeah, and Book 2 has already been submitted, so Book 2 will be hitting the Audible store very soon.
Mhm.
What else? We have Life Reset 6 has been submitted, so that's on its way to Audible right now. Or well, whenever Audible decides to drop it, it will drop. So any of you who've been looking forward to that one like crazy, it's there. It's just a matter of Audible releasing it. And do we have anything else? Any other releases super recently?
New releases.
Emerald.
No.
Emerald last week.
Emerald.
Emerald also
Emerald
left
is
our
now
platform.
available.
Yeah, so that's on Audible as
Yes.
well.
The robots love it. Emerald, that is a land of the elementals.
Land of the Elementals Book 2. So now Rampage
Yes.
and Emerald are on Audible, and Origin will be leaving our platform, I believe, next week. So if you guys want to get it for cheaper, if you want to pick it up now, $10 for the audiobook on our platform, if you pick it up straight from us. Okay, so I think that's all for our news. Let's go on to Julian Child.
Well, hold on. Let me just take a minute here and say hello, everybody in the audience. Who do we got here? We got Daryl Pettyjohn. Hello, Daryl. Bappy Compton. Hello, Bappy. You're annoyed with Audible? They would not. let you
He
get
is annoyed,
his
yeah, rightly
new
so.
book. Definitely.
There's another place you can
Facebook
get
user.
these books, you know.
Hello, Facebook user. Welcome. We got BJ Wessels, Sean McGeehan, Camara 76, Benjamin Wagner, Sigur Guaranson. Nailed it. We got Cap 2278. We got, and then Babby Compton's back. Yes, if you are in the audience and you are here and you wish to tell us that you are here and say hello, please say hello. Start conversation.
Comment.
Just tell us that we do funny things and laugh.
Make
ha,
comrade
ha, ha
comment.
in chat.
Or tell us we are
Yes.
stupid. Say whatever.
Yeah,
you
well,
want.
also,
Just
yes,
comment.
tell us we are
Please,
stupid.
please,
That
tell
is
us we are
compliment.
All right.
in
You
this
nailed his
case,
name.
yes.
Absolutely nailed it.
Sigurg.
Okay. Oh, Captain.
Oh,
Very
never
sorry.
mind. Sorry, CAPT2278 isn't here. My bad.
Okay, this is
My bad,
kind of
Capt.
concerning. This is kind of concerning. So Dick Cheney can't buy Northwood. Yeah, that's kind of weird. So we're gonna have to get on that. Maybe.
I'm not laughing at that he can't buy it, but I'm laughing at Dick Cheney.
So Dick Cheney, please email Audible and tell them what's up because that's not fair.
Yeah, that's not right.
You know what? Sometimes when a title goes new on Audible, it takes a little while for things to get lined up. So if you check in again tomorrow, it might be fine. If not, definitely follow Jeff's advice and email. Just descend upon them.
Do it.
Email style.
Or give it a try now. I was able to add it to my cart just now. So maybe it did take it to the processing time.
Maybe Dick Cheney's one of those fans that like refreshes, like it sits on refresh for our stuff, and like as soon as it came up, he's like buy, and then it wasn't ready. It's possible. I know Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
Dick Cheney can be a mega fan like that. With people, so.
Stupid DD sexy. My pick is a dick pic. It is a dick pic.
All right, now I think we can have Julian Child.
Yeah, let's do this. Where is this script that I'm supposed to be looking at? That is the question. I don't have that
mind,
script. Oh, you know what? I don't want to vamp too much about Julian. I want the script to inform it.
You could find a team that has the script.
Oh, is there a team that has? Oh, there is a team.
There's definitely a script team
that has the script. It's got to be there.
They'll never figure out our code.
Be there. Today is. Thank you.
How he goes to find the script, but he can't find it, and he's getting annoyed, and we're all waiting, but that's okay. This bit in particular is just like Aladdin-y, jungle-y.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Friend like me.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. All right, everybody. We got Julian Child's Best and Worst Nut Milks for Bathing. A Love in the Time of Corona companion piece. That's perfect. By Emily
What we
Labus.
need right now.
I will forewarn you. I have not read this script yet. I didn't do a pre-read, but it's fine because I'm just going to channel my inner Julian. All right, guys. I need a Trent. Trent is my kind of like bro producer, I think.
Oh, right. I can be a Trent. And
You're going to be my Trent?
Right?
You can be my Trenty, baby. All right. That's enough messing around. Let's get serious here. Do you have the script? There's a team. We are a team that Microsoftly.
I can do it till unless Jeff has it. Oh, we can just take turns.
It's gonna take me a second to find it.
Okay, Gary, you got it?
I'll do the first 2 lines or 3 lines, and Jeff can do the rest.
You just do the whole.
So do I have a transforming Trent?
Yeah, why not?
I like it. Trent A and Trent B. All right, here we go. Oh. Hey, friends. It's your buddy Julian here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say, hey, fam, because that's what I feel you guys are to me. My family. And also, because my producer Trent told me that's a cool thing to say now. Namaste, Trent.
Namaste, bruh.
I know it's been a while since my last video, but I've just been so caught up in my M&M practices. That's mindfulness and meditation for all you newcomers. But I'm excited to be going live with you lovely people today to talk about a topic I've researched extensively. The best and worst nut milks for bathing.
Trent? Yeah, bro?
Could you roll the presentation, my trusted compadre?
Bet.
Do we have the visual cue? Oh, perfect. Thank you, Trent.
Yeah.
For those of you unfamiliar with my wellness philosophies, I'm a firm believer that skincare equals self-care. That's a little math for you. And I definitely won't let an eczema flare-up slow me down. As a kid, my mom would often draw me milk baths to soothe my irritated skin. Fast forward 20 years, and I'm now the well-centered whole food vegan you see before you. Since my lifestyle won't accommodate a classic milk bath anymore, I decided to get creative. Besides, according to a cool TikTok influencer Trent showed me, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, milk baths can also help treat dry skin, psoriasis, sunburn, and poison ivy. So, without further ado, let's dive into these nut milks, shall we? Oh. I was particularly excited to try taking a macadamia milk bath because macadamia milk is known to be good for the skin. Since it doesn't have as many proteins as regular milk, I'll admit it's not quite as thick and luxurious on the body, but I definitely felt as smooth as a chill bass drop. Remember, Trent?
Yeah, bruh. Your arm was like a really jacked stick of butter.
Aw, I appreciate that, man. It really means a lot to me. Anyway, moving on. Now, I know coconuts aren't technically nuts, but they do have the word nut, right? There in the name. So I think we can all agree that this totally counts. Right, Trent?
Bet.
And let me just tell you, bathing in coconut milk was the opposite of transcendent. And here's why. Sure, it's thick and creamy, and it has a lot of potassium. But if you're looking for a long, luxurious soak, you're gonna emerge from the tub greasy, smelling like a pina colada. Ugh. Also, did you know that coconut milk can separate over time if left out too long? Because I found that out the hard way. Yuck. I'll be honest, fam. Prepping for this one was no yoga retreat. While walnut milk is a frequent guest star in some of my favorite nut milk blends, it's tough to find. Unsweetened walnut milk on its own. Luckily for me, I'm blessed enough to have a seemingly endless supply of mason jars and a producer with plenty of free time, so we decided to make our own. But let me tell you, it was totally worth it. Just be careful not to sneak a sip while you soak, since walnut milk contains the highest calorie and fat content of any dairy alternative besides coconut milk. Now I admit, it's possible that I should have seen this one coming, but I was so excited to submerge myself in some sweet pistachio milk that I didn't think about its distinctively green hue. While I enjoyed my time in the tub, I came out as green as the Grinch.
Dude looked like Shrek for a week. Big yikes.
For sure. Yeah. It was not a good look. Fortunately, it didn't last long, but it's an experience I only needed to have once. And finally, here we are at the best of the best. Almond milk. Perhaps the most classic of all the nut milks. I should have known this old standby would reign supreme in the soaking department. Sure, its production requires an insane amount of water, and its negative environmental impact is almost as significant as that of regular cow milk. But I just can't resist its enduring silkiness. Can you blame me? Well, my beautiful friends, this brings me to the end of my stream. I learned a lot in preparation for this, and I treasure the opportunity to share it with you. If you leave with only one takeaway tonight, let it be this. Men can, in fact, get yeast infections too. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. Namaste, and have a great evening.
Perfect. I loved it. And thank you, Julian Child, for all those tips. And we actually got a little bit of areola in that
Very
in that
nice.
picture, in that last picture. Yeah.
What?
So, yeah, just a little bit.
What?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
They're
We
gonna-
are officially a quality show.
We are officially
Yeah,
an
look at
18 plus
that, look at
show.
My
Is that a little
goodness.
areola? Where's the little
Yes,
areola?
At the top, yep.
Oh,
yep.
we got a little areola. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Dude, you've changed the landscape of bathing for the world.
Yo, Trent, thank you so much. Oh my God!
Hey,
It's
Will there.
What?
What is that?
Hey! Oh my goodness! Well, what, everybody? This is like
How you
this is like
doing?
when there's like a special guest who's just like a surprise guest. Oh my God!
I love when it's a
you!
surprise for me as well. I was sat here like staring at the screen with this big goofy grin on my face. Then all of a sudden I'm like, that guy looks familiar. Because it's me. That was me.
Will. What
Yes,
kind of nut milk do you like to bathe in?
I like to bathe in all kinds of nut milk, to be honest. I prefer like a wide-ranging array of nut milks to bathe in. Like
Blend.
why
fusion.
exactly a blend, a cocktail, if you will. Like
yeah.
why stick
Cocktail
to a
of
single
nut
nut
milk.
when you can go really nuts? You can go
really
full
does.
nuts.
All
it
the
really
nuts.
does take several
All the
nuts for you to bathe
Full
in.
Yeah.
nuts, cocktail,
Several,
full cock,
at
you might
least.
say.
Yeah, it's like
Cornucopia of nuts.
Oh, you're making people
smorgasbord of
thirsty.
nuts.
You're making people
All the
thirsty,
nuts.
Will.
like party
I-
mix or something. A trail
Exactly.
mix. Like a trail mix
Exactly.
milk.
I just bathe in trail
mix
mix. Not even the milk, just trail mix. Just like
Hey,
pour it
Trail
over
milk.
me.
It's milk by the end of it.
It is. Certainly is.
milk.
Wow,
Well-
gosh, that got dark.
Thanks,
Great.
thanks so much for joining us, Will, and you're just in time to interview our other special guest, Mr.
Wait,
Johnathan
what?
Smidt.
There's
Oh my
another.
God.
I thought I was
Johnathan
supposed
Smidt
to-
is here?
Yes,
Oh no, I'm on the show now. Oh shit.
he's on the show now.
Hello.
Johnathan Smidt, as I live
No.
and breathe.
Right.
Is it
My
Smith or
old
Schmidt?
foe.
It's Smith. The
Smith,
D is
okay.
silent.
Oh, right.
Oh.
I'm wondering if I'm supposed to insert an H. That's it.
No.
or a
no.
No, okay.
When
Just
yeah, when my family came over, we couldn't afford the extra letters, so we had to drop
Gotcha.
the CH.
Whoa.
Well, they paid for the crossing fare, right?
Yeah,
No
yeah.
joking matter.
They were
Oh,
like,
man, your first name is hella expensive.
Yeah, when it's like,
Well, that
can't
was
afford the
later on
letters.
though. I was like the
That was when they
forefathers
branched out a
couldn't
little
afford the
bit.
last
Yeah.
name, but my parents could afford the first name.
You got a new letter
your
every
great
birthday?
grandfather was just called
It wasn't even a full letter. It was just like a small picture.
right.
It was a little
Just
weird
a
at first. They
single
came over and it
phoneme.
was just.
Look, it's
You've really
J- and s-
expanded. Love what you've done with the place. So
good
welcome. Is this your? I was gonna say, is this your first Soundbooth Theatre live? But now I have this memory that I think this is your second.
because Jeff and I did a bit a while back.
Yeah,
Nice,
that was
nice.
man. That's maybe when the first Bone Dungeon came out. right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
It's been a
ages
hot
maybe
minute.
ago.
It's 2020 was a year. That was a thing that happened.
It kind of feels like it wasn't though,
Was.
honestly.
Right.
Like I'm still reeling from the fact that like a whole year went by,
Yeah,
and now
20
as well with having to go out and do stuff now, with like having this whole kind of like world of like bars that are open and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh
I
shit.
mean, 2020
Like,
was just like that
what do I
bender
do?
of drinking, and then the start of 2021 was the hangover.
Exactly. And now it's like
There you
the
go.
cold hard light of morning is like shining in
like,
at me. I'm like, oh no, other people exist.
Doubling outside.
I've been
just
here in my
these are
cave."
people.
It sucks, man. So congratulations on part 3 of Bone Dungeon coming out on Hallowed Bones.
Thank you.
Being released
Yeah.
on Audible. Amazing.
finally wraps up the conclusion. You know, it's kind of like that part of the life is done. It's kind of surreal.
It's crazy. Did you ever like? Was it your first series that you did with
yeah,
Soundbooth?
It's my debut. Everything like that is
Oh,
my
wow.
first ever series.
That's
So
amazing.
that is like my author career. It was those 3 books.
Got its little kickstart there. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, we've come to the very end, and it's released now, and it's very sad. We no longer get to go and meet Ryan and Blake and the rest.
I know, good fun.
Do you miss it? Do you miss like being able to like go into that world and write it and stuff?
Sometimes. I mean, the characters definitely they grew themselves. I'm a huge pantser when I write, so like I didn't have a plot when I sat down. I was just like, I'm gonna write a dungeon core.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Like none of this was plotted out. Like
No
I was just
way.
like, hey, Portal Books. I'm like, they hit me up. They're like, we like your writing style. I'm like, hey, I'll write a book for you guys. And they're like, okay. And then I sent them like 5 chapters. And I'm like, hell yeah, we like this book. And I was like, cool. I don't know where it's going, but all right. Trilogy. Got it. Let's
That's
see
incredible.
what
Well,
happens.
you pulled it out the bag. To be fair,
Yeah.
Right,
Editing is very helpful.
very much so. Oh, I guess you had like it wasn't like you just like churned out one thing and then that was what.
Well, it is because I turned it out, and then the first book's done, and we had to edit it. And I'm like, so what happens at the end of the first book? I can kind of edit into the beginning, but that's it. So like by the time we got to Hallowed Bones, and I had stuff from the first book popping up still, like the wolf ring, I had no idea where the hell that was going with. I just thought it was a fun moment in book 1. I'm like, here you go, this is gonna be a thing. And then come book 3, it's got this epic history to it, and it becomes
Right, it became like a whole thing. Like,
yeah, so he's been carrying this around, and like my publishers, they're just like, oh man, like you planned this out, and I'm like, nope, not at all.
Have you always been like that? Were you like the kid that like when you were in English class at school, like all of the other kids are like diligently doing your homework and their homework, and you just like make something up on the spot, and the teacher's like,
Oh, yeah.
amazing, that's
Oh, no,
great,
yeah,
and
yeah.
everyone's
That was-
like shooting daggers, like.
Yeah, I mean, I did debate in high school, and like my biggest thing was like, I retained knowledge. So I just retained a bunch of random shit. So then it'd be like, all right, well, here's the debate. Let's go in. Here's your topic. I'm like, cool. And everybody's like scrambling and trying to plan things. And like, aren't you going to do anything? I'm like, nah, I'm going to take a nap.
You're like, I got this.
And then I walk in there and just throw out all this stuff. And everybody's just staring. They're like, this fucking guy.
This dude.
Yeah, like, what is he doing? What?
That's
And, yeah,
amazing.
it's good times.
I'm
but-
very jealous. I can't claim to have any of that skill myself. So
Yeah,
But for the rest
it's
of
just
us.
the voices in my head. They just build themselves.
seems to be working out pretty well for you. Ghost.
Hey, if you say your voices in your head are talking to you, it's totally fine if you're an author.
Exactly. Similarly,
Or
if you're a
narrator.
voice actor, right?
Or
Yeah,
narrator,
right.
yeah.
We get a free pass as well. Like,
Normal people, you're schizophrenic, but if you're an author, it's like, hey, it's good for the business,
I mean, who would I be without the voices in my head, right?
right?
Just boring old you, I guess.
It's all of those character building moments in life that just really sucked, and they're like, it's building character. Yeah, now they're showing up. They're 30 years later. They're drunk, and it's good times.
So I was gonna ask you, like, what was the like plot point in Bone Dungeon that you were most excited for people to find out? But now that I've realized that like that wasn't a thing, I'm like, which is the plot point that you found most interesting to find out? Which, like, when you're writing it down, you're like, whoa, I can't believe this is happening. Like,
So yeah, let's see.
it turns the question on its head all of a sudden.
I know, right? So tying in like all of the oh man. Now I'm like blanking. I'm writing so many stories at the same time too now that I'm just like characters, which one's which? So the Jack's character arc I really had a lot of fun with. And tying in like his half-blood situation and like his father and everything, like, and just building that up and then watching it develop and then finding out that the twins were the ones who actually like hunted down his father and the whole situation that come down. I was just like that was really and it was like showing the way rules, regulations, and just like cultures and everything can be twisted because the victors tell the story and everything. So that was a really fun sub arc to kind of see developed. And I felt like Jack as a character really was developing because he started out as just, this easygoing, just goof that was really hiding a lot of like pain and, prejudice from his childhood. behind his just goofy nature, and then seeing that kind of like come to light and seeing him find people he wanted to protect and care for, that was surprising. I was like, wow, that's a deep character.
Yeah, man. I think there's something to be said as well about like your writing style, in that like from the beginning he was a little bit more black and white than just like the class clown or whatever, or like there was always like a little bit more to him. And so like that's why it's such a surprise for me to be like, wait, you didn't plan that? Like it kind of happened. I wonder if like your deep subconscious knew, you're like somewhere in the back of your brain, one of your like cortexes was like, I've got a story to tell. It's a story about a werewolf called Jack.
and I mean, the characters always do that. Like any story that I've been writing, like the characters just start to develop and like really flesh themselves out, and I'm just like, where did this come from?
Right?
Like, what are you guys doing back there?
Who are you?
How expensive is the counseling that I need to hire for all of you?
It seems like the writing it down is great counseling enough, you know. And you don't want to go too hard on the counseling, because if it means we don't get any more books from you, then that would be a crying shame. I'm not sure I can allow that. So
and that's like the people that like watch me write and everything, because I definitely get into that flow state. Like I've been streaming my writing lately, and people see me do 4,000 words in like an hour and a half. And it's just it's just like it happens. Like I sit down, I'm like, all right, guys, we're writing today. And then the words just kind of go, and it's just like it's providing them an out. But like I can't talk that fast. If you ask me to like brainstorm, we wouldn't get this in depth. Like it has to be through that medium of writing with the keyboard, because I can't handwrite that fast either. Like just something about sitting down in front of a keyboard just like lets me release all of that and bring it to life, which is really cool.
That's amazing. Are you one of those people with like a really enviable super high word speed as well? Well, like with touch typing. God damn it.
It's my super skill. I mean, since I started writing I wrote Bone Dungeon in like the span of 3 months.
Jeez.
How many words was Bone Dungeon?
Bone Dungeon was 112,000. Hallowed Bones was 172. I think I average like 50,000 words a month. But I'm also working on like 3 or 4 stories at a time.
So let's talk about that, because you were telling me earlier on this year you've written a tennis lit RPG book. Which is
well, currently he's playing soccer.
Wow. Okay. Cool. So tell me about this. I need to know everything.
It's a slice of life tennis lit RPG, because I during COVID I started playing tennis. Like I was like, I need something to get outside and be active. So I was like, I'm gonna go take tennis lessons. Great idea. Never done this in my life. And I fell in love with the sport. I'm like, this is a lot of fun. And I watched some tennis anime, and I'm just like, oh, this is great. So a lot of the writing that I do, usually I started on the side, it's just kind of like way to decompress and put words out. So I started writing this tennis slice of life lit RPG, where like the game system in it is kind of like a mixture between The Sims and the Elder Scrolls games.
What?
Yeah.
Two diametrically opposed game franchises, and you're just like, tennis.
Yeah.
I love that.
So he's got all these different
binds you together. Like
he's got these different
serve.
Yeah, he's got these different skills and traits, and like as he levels them up, he can essentially auto a task, and based off of how his points have leveled up in things, he gets to, do good at those. It shows him like where he's gotten to right now. He's still pretty beginner levels in it, but he's picking it up fast because it's a gamified system, because the whole joke is Truck Kun failed and it didn't kill him, so it transferred the powers, but he didn't get isekai'd. So
Love
now
that.
it's like, well, you got like superpowers, but you're still in the real world. This is awkward.
Oh no. What do we do?
Go have fun with this.
That's amazing. So wait, so now he's playing soccer though? So he starts off in the tennis world, and then that's not enough.
Well, so what happened was he started off, he's brand new at this school. He comes from like a military family, moved around a lot, all that jazz. So he's a freshman at this school, and as does any proper anime protagonist, he sees this girl who he's like, oh my God, that's the one. I like that girl. Mm-hmm. And the guy showing him around is like the son of the principal, and it's like this superstar tennis awesome like athlete is just like, oh, she only goes for tennis players. So he's like, oh, well, I don't know how to play tennis.
Oh, hell.
He's like, shit, I don't know how to play tennis. So like the seniors like takes him under his wing. He's like, I'm gonna teach you. And then because of the things and stuff, and him getting these powers, he starts to pick up the sport really fast. So now we've got the senior that's taking an interest in him because he's like, this is my prodigy. This guy gets the sport. I'm going to train him up. Well, things are going good for like a month, and then the senior had to go away for a reason. We haven't disclosed the reason yet, but he goes away for a reason. And because of the special attention that our main character had been getting, the rest of the tennis team doesn't like him.
Ooh.
So they were just like, all right, we're gonna haze him essentially. And they were, bullying him. The kid's just learning how to play tennis, and then he was actually gonna win the match though, because they were like, you gotta beat one of our kids, otherwise you can't play tennis for the whole week. And he was about to win, and then the jackass, that there always is, like second in the tennis world, that's bitter about the guy above him.
Classic rival.
Was like, oh, well, if so-and-so loses, he's off the team. So our main character was just like, you know what? I can do without a week of practice. I'm going to throw the match. So he throws the match, and then the overarching deity like feature that's giving him hints and tips about how to use his powers is like, you do know you can level things up faster if you learn new skills and like go do other things than just tennis, right? So the character's like, oh, well, I really liked playing soccer before this. So now he just went out to the soccer team and is like flexing on a bunch of freshmen.
That's amazing.
He actually plays soccer, and that was actually his sport.
So he didn't even have to have like the montage training in the beginning. He
actually knows what he's doing, and he actually has a bunch of stats to it. So now as he's playing it, like they're all unlocking and showing like this high level that he'd already had in it. And he's just like, oh, well, with my game system combined with what I already naturally had, this is easy mode.
That's amazing. I just love that it's such a like different. I don't know.
It's so like completely different. Yeah, like it's not. Oh, we're battling with swords and everything. It's like, oh, well, he just did this drop shot, and oh, he's gonna rush. Yeah,
it's incredible. I'm already like so new in terms of like 3 years ago. I had no concept of the fact that like Gamelit as a genre really existed. Like, I think I'd kind of encountered it and like always thought that whenever I'd seen it, it was like a one-off thing. I'm like, oh, weird. Someone's like written a book that's kind of like a video game. Like, I didn't realize that it was like a thing. And now this is like an even like smaller door that's open to me that I'm like glimpsing through into like, wait, what tennis literature that's also gamified? I love that you have that description of like The Sims meets Elder Scrolls. Like, I just think that's like the perfect. I'm like, why wouldn't that be how you present a tennis gamelit? Like,
I make snide jokes about them too, because I was like, yeah, guys, I don't like money. I'm just gonna do this random niche thing that nobody's gonna ever read, but it's fun.
But it seems like people are liking it as well, right? Like, you're taking an audience for your tennis. It's awesome.
I was uploading it on Royal Road, and it hit trending on like day 14, so that was spiffy.
That's incredible. Congrats.
But that's actually like, I'm happy with that. But my gem story, like my super secret story that I'm like the most excited about, is this one called Dead Exorcists, but it's DED, Dead Exorcist. But that one's just, I know. That one's just on Patreon. Like, I want to share it on Royal Road. Like, I want to get it out there, but it's just like, it's like my super secret gem that I'm just like, this one is so good.
Amazing. So are you like putting that out bit by bit on Patreon at the moment?
Yeah, I write like 5 chapters a week right now for it. It's like, I started it in April, and I'm like 53,000 words into it as of today. And it's developing so well. Like, just from all of my experience, everything as a writer that I've been building up and everything, like, it's all just flowing through to it so well. And it's like this combination of, it's an augmented reality LitRPG, I call it, because it takes place in the real world, but is pulling like digital aspects and everything. So it's like this combination of like Digimon meets Pokemon Go meets like the Devil Survivor Shin Megami Tensei games.
Oh man.
And it's so good. And I'm just like so happy about it. So every time I write it, I'm just like, guys,
this is the best. That's incredible. Like, so have you already put up, like, are you releasing exactly like what you write as you write it?
Yeah, wow. I don't edit until the end of anything. So everything that I put out is all unedited because I hate editing. It slows me down.
It's not super fun, is it? Having to get like doing something in the first instance is always super fun, but then having to go back and scrutinize something that you've done and change it is like soul destroying. It's soul destroying. You're destroying a part of your actual soul, and I hate it.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing is like, if I stop to edit, then I'm just gonna like keep editing because I'm just like a perfectionist. I'm like, oh no, that's not good enough, and I'm gonna keep.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'll worry about that later. The important thing is getting the words on paper and getting the story out there. And once that's done, I can edit the whole damn thing.
Agreed. So how super secretive is it? Can you tell us like anything more about?
Well, it's not super secretive. It's just not gonna hit like Royal Road or anything because even though that one would probably bring me so many readers, I'm just
Mhm.
waiting until it's done. But so the whole premise behind it is, you've got essentially the world has like another dimension that's kind of like near it, and so I go into like frequencies and resonances, which I had no idea where that was coming from, but it's like Nikola Tesla style stuff. But essentially, so this other dimension, there are people in our world that resonate with it, and so they can actually see the demonic creatures coming over from that because they
Oh,
come
shit.
over from it to like feed on people. And so they're
Lovely.
actually like creating rifts that they come through on. And so there's this ancient organization that's been fighting these demonic creatures that come through, and that's where we get these demonic creatures from mythology. So like
Nice.
Fenris, the deities, all the stories and everything. Those are all like
Oh,
actual
so it
events that
all
were
like
being kept down.
links
Yeah,
back.
but the frequency of these rifts and everything has been like increasing. So we're coming to this like pinnacle point. So in order to find people that resonate and can become what they're called a dead exorcist, because DED stands for digitally energized demons. So in order to find these exorcists, the secret organization spent years creating essentially a game. So like a Pokemon Go style app. And then when you log into it, the first time you log into it, it does a biometric scan and releases a frequency. And if you resonate with it, it awakens that like power within you. So then you can start to actually see the demons as they
Oh,
are.
snap.
And
Okay.
you have to like make bonds with them and like level them up and power them up and evolve them. And you can fuse them and all of that and make them stronger. And they're trying to like, essentially stop whatever the apocalypse is because these creatures that are coming over, they drain the essence from people, they cause accidents, they cause catastrophes. So it's like we need more soldiers because we don't have enough, and the ones we do have are dying off too quickly. And so
Dude,
he
that's
gets
dope.
yeah,
Can you imagine if that was real life? Like, I don't know.
right.
Ever since I played the very first Pokemon game, I've been like, I want a little monster that fits in a ball in my pocket so much.
And then it's so
Like,
great because like normal people can't see it. So you've got all these people flocking to these areas because they're playing the augmented reality game of it.
oh,
And they
so
don't
they
know
still like if you get the scan, like you're still playing it regardless.
you're still
But if you get the
playing the
scan, like
game.
you're like,
Yeah.
it's real.
Yeah. So you've got all these people flocking to these places, playing the game like on their phones and leveling up their demons, thinking they're just playing a game. And then there's like a few exorcists here and there amongst them that are it's like real life for them, just blending in. So it's like the
I love
perfect
that.
camouflage.
I have this like mental image of some little like cute little like 7-year-old child like playing on their mom's phone in the park, and it's all like birds singing and everyone's happy, and then like smash cut to this other guy who's standing there with like molten rock all around him, like explosions going off,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and everyone else
it's
is just
fun.
standing around like licking an ice cream, completely oblivious.
And then like for more realistic feel to it, I put it in Colorado Springs, which is where I spent a lot of my teenage years and adult life. So
Nice.
it's an area I'm extremely familiar with. So like I'm just adding in these actual real places, and I'm like, oh yeah, this was a place that high energy here, so the frequency was resonating here, so this is going off here. And
That's
he's
very
gonna go to this
cool.
local shop over here, and I'm like, yeah, it's like this many minute drive, like just because
It
it's an
must have
area I'm so
been
familiar with.
it must have been cool to kind of like revisit that area like in your
Yeah.
mind as well, to kind of like go back there and like pay homage to it,
It
or homage,
definitely
whatever the
is.
word is.
So it's a lot of fun. Some of the places I'll be describing that I'm like, man, I miss this area.
Aww. I get that sometimes when I like read anything that's set in England, and like they'll be talking
Yeah.
about like I read a book recently and they were talking about a very specific area of London, and I was like, I know that area of London. I was there once upon a time. Like, I don't know. I got all misty about it.
We got this comment from JS saying high energy at Grunt of the Gods. I actually I had the main character climb up to the top of the incline, and in doing so was actually releasing enough latent energy that he created a small rift, and he got his second demon from that. That was a bladed drakeling. So it's like a little baby drakeling that he's leveling up right now to become a full
Adorable.
on drake.
Love
Yeah,
that.
and then he of course he's a main character, so he has the maximum resonance potential, meaning he's got the potential to control the strongest dead out there.
Uh-huh.
So he was a high priority to pick up, so they sent a special agent Loki to go get him, which was this mysterious masked figure with a laughing mask on that actually wields the power of Fenris in battle.
Oh, sick. And is that meant to be kind of like the Loki from mythology that like he's been there before or something? And
well, that's why he's got the code name Loki, because his dead is Fenrir.
amazing.
And so they're just like that. His code name's Loki because in the ancient times, the mage that originally captured this dead was named Loki, and so it's just carrying on that homage.
That's very cool. Dude, that's amazing. So do you have like a release in mind for it? Like, do you know when you're, or is it going to be one of those things that you're like, I'm writing this out until it gets there?
I mean, I'll keep writing it. We'll probably first book will probably be like 2022. Just because I got a couple releases planned for this year that we're hopefully going to be trying to get out. So
Nice.
I have a nice backlog because while I was writing Bone Dungeon and Infernal Bones and Hallowed Bones, I was obviously writing other things as well. So I've got a good amount of stuff saved up that I'm editing and editing and editing and editing.
That's amazing. I'm very envious of that. I have a very single track mind and I cannot concentrate on more than a single project at a time, like to my detriment. And so when I see people that are like, yeah, and then I was doing this and I was working on that at the same time, and then I did some bits on here, I'm like, how is your brain that complex? Like,
well,
mine just falls out of my mind if I try to
part of it keeps me
overload
from
it.
burning out. Like if I focus on a project for too long, I'll burn out. So being able to hop onto side projects and goof off like in a low stress environment keeps me from burning out. And then also I procrastinate like really well. So when I have
Me
a project
too.
that I'm like, oh yeah, I really need to edit that. Or I can go write in this story today. I'm just gonna go make a new story. That's fine. I should be editing.
Isn't it wild how like most people that are like professional procrastinators would rather do something more difficult as a means of procrastination than doing the actual job that they need to do. Like I do this, I'm guilty of this all the time. I'm like, instead of finishing off this thing that will take me half an hour and be relatively stress-free, why don't I embark on an entirely new project that I have to do tons of research and work for, and it'll take me all week, if not months? Like, I'll just do that instead and put off the important thing.
Yeah,
like, it's weird. But it's good that you still, it's good that you still have that, like, when you procrastinate, you're still doing something, like, largely constructive, right? Like,
yeah, I was going to say, it at least it gives me more stories to eventually put out there for everybody to enjoy. And like I said, my patrons are currently loving it, so it's good fun.
That's amazing. Is there? Are we ever going to see a return back to the Bone Dungeon world, or do you think that chapter's like closed for now?
So the way I finished it, I did actually want to go back into the world and follow like the kids of our lovely band of adventurers, and then also it was on the to-do list eventually when life is calm enough and all the projects line up in the perfect world. But I had begun writing an anthology, working on an anthology of sorts that showed the adventurers during their off-screen time during Bone Dungeon and the Elemental Dungeon series. So there's actually, the first one was a 5,000 word short that's available on Patreon and then on Portal's mailing list called The Path of Flames. And that actually covers how Emily gets her dragon. So it actually covers her going to the God of Fire's dungeon and actually interacting with him. And it shows some more like the mythology of the world. And you get to see the God of Flames doing his thing with his companion, who was a phoenix that transforms into a female named Scarlet.
Because I was going to say, there's a lot of stuff like Emily's Dragon and like so many other bits where like there's implied story, or like there's a bit where like I don't know, like it's like you're left wondering, right? There's a lot of things that you're like, and that's what surprised me so much when you're like, oh, I don't plan it in ahead of time, and I'm like, but all of these characters have all of this like flesh to them, like all of these things that like you wonder about, like how they came to be. To the point that like when I first started reading it, like there was a couple of moments where I was like, oh, that must be from like another book, like, or like from a series that I don't know about or something like that.
So it was actually Emily showed up with Cinder in book 1, and Cinder was great. We all loved the adorable little dragon chasing after skeletal bones. It was great. So yeah, like after Bone Dungeons had done and everything, Portal's like, hey, can you do any shorts for our mailing list and everything? I was like, sure, I'll make up a story on how Emily got Cinder. And then from that, I ended up like creating Elijah and creating like this ancient group of summoners that existed in times before. And that was when I first created the Knuckle V that I ended up bringing into Hallowed Bones. Because, it was just like, okay, yeah, I'll do this. 5,000 words later, I was like, oh.
You're like, shit, I guess I had a story to tell there. Like,
that
had some legs.
So yeah, I did intend to make an anthology that actually covers from bronze all the way up to platinum and diamond for the characters. What they've been doing in the off-screen time, so somebody could pick it up and it'd be like, remember, like, I don't know if you guys read like the old Dragonlance books, but how the Dragonlance had some anthologies that like covered, the history and all of this other stuff of the world, and they'd be broken into just these little short stories, and you could read them individually or read them as a whole, and it just deepened a story. So it was kind of an idea for that. But I think before I did that, I needed to finish. I've been working on a tabletop RPG for the Elemental Dungeon series world, to where you actually have somebody playing as a dungeon core, and then the players get to play as adventurers going into it. And as the players are leveling up, they get to unlock their different skills and abilities, and then the dungeon core actually gets to like expand its dungeon every time it's leveling up and get new mobs and add in more mob points and all of that.
Nice. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I had that one. Like, it's super close to being playtest ready. I just have to probably sit down and spend another afternoon on it.
Jeez, that's incredible. Have you made a tabletop game before?
No.
Oh wow, this is incredible.
This is just like, have you written a book before? Nah, but I did it.
Let's give it a go. Like, cue to like 6 months later, and like Johnathan Smidt is like the CEO of Hasbro or something. Like, geez,
it's like, it's
overachiever over here.
It's that joke of like, oh, talented and gifted kids are now just a bunch of depressed kids with ADHD with hyperfocus. Pretty much. Watch me do something and then watch me lose interest.
But at least you did it. I love that. Like, I'm just seeing everyone's faces kind of like nodding in agreement. Like, it me.
I mean, yeah, we all share those feels.
Yes, indeed. Amazing. That's very cool. So when's your I already asked that. I said when I was going to ask when the Patreon book is coming out, but you already answered.
Tennis book's coming out.
So Aced is actually on Royal Road.
Right.
It's there. It's a fantastic cover.
It is. Yes, my wife actually made that cover.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Well,
I want to see
there's there's 80s music playing in my head right now when I'm looking at that.
It's got that very Tron feel to it.
Yeah, that to me sounds amazing. Like I let's see. One book that's really successful right now is the oh no.
There it is. Oh yeah, this is
it's right there.
Before.
It's right there. There's already an ad right there. Oh great, I was reincarnated as a farmer, So
yeah. Oh yeah,
that
one.
People are digging deep, like finding new.
People are like throw something crazy at me, like
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like
hit me with something unusual.
Yeah, everybody's done the video game fighting stories, and now everybody's like, well, what else do we got out there?
Right.
And then you had, and you got Wandering End, obviously. Awesome. Right. You had Wandering End. You had Tall Rock by Xander that started the farming thing, and then you got reincarnated as a farm. There's the chicken one. I can't remember what the chicken.
Yeah. Oh no, what is it called?
Something with chicken in the name.
Beware of chicken.
Yeah, Beware of Chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody's just.
I actually got addicted to that one. That was awesome.
Yeah, but Ace will be getting updated again soon on Royal Road. It's actually, I think I've got like a 10 or a 12 chapter buffer on Patreon right now. I've just been too lazy to actually update Royal Road.
Oh, right.
I got to this point where like, I don't know, like it's kind of detrimental because Patreon's like my main source of income. But I stopped like caring about rankings on Royal Road and like scrambling to try to like keep up that weekly updates because I'm just like, no, I don't want to like stress out of updating every time just for you guys. Like I'm writing these stories for fun, and like if I worry too much about the business side, the passion leaves them. Meanwhile, my bank account is like, hey buddy,
you gonna put anything in me?
I feel a little bit hungry here.
Well, this is amazing. I'm really excited for Aced and all the other stuff you're working on. You got Aced. You've got DED Dead. And is there anything else? Do you have anything? Where would you like to send the listeners right now as a bit of a
the biggest bang for the
plug?
buck? I mean, if people really want to read something of mine, there is.
Of course they do. That's why they're here.
All right, give me a second because the stupid link opened up in Internet Explorer, so it doesn't autofill into my normal links like it should.
Internet Explorer.
I know the computer defaults to Internet Explorer, whereas I always use Chrome.
fast, I promise.
You want
to go to Ask Jeeves?
Oh, God. I use Chrome, but
Forget
Robots love Ask Jeeves.
here we go. Oh, God, now I gotta find the
goodness.
Internet Explorer link. We're gonna go to private chat. I'm gonna drop this link here. If you guys really want the most bang for the buck, there is still this monstrosity.
Dungeon Core Online.
Which, let's check out the dashboard stats here real quick. 3.4 million views.
What is
Hey.
it?
Average
That's
views,
a few.
9,919. Currently, 1,875 pages on a railroad.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's a big one.
That's
a
the
lot of meat.
behemoth.
Are
Yeah,
you guys? Are you just not gonna publish that? On
Oh no, I
Amazon?
just finished editing the first part for publishing. So for everybody that wants to read fast, I recommend reading a bunch before it gets pulled down.
Oh, there you go.
Because, yeah, I
Oh,
have
this
to.
is
Obviously, if I publish, I pull down. That's the nature of the beast with Amazon.
Right.
This is
Right.
insane.
But yeah, the Word document. The Word document is almost to 1,000 pages total right now on that stupid thing. And it's
That's
great. It's good
mental.
times. The very first mob in it is called a Dickin. It's a demonic chicken. The very
Cheney?
first world boss is called Charles the Dickin, whose
Love it.
skills are all riffs on his books. Like we have
So
a
it's
Clucky Carol.
Oh, Charles
Okay.
the Dickens because of Charles Dickens. Sorry, it took me a moment. I was like, Charles Dickens. Yeah, Dickens. I was still
around.
laughing at that.
And then
So
and
it's
then
like a serious, like grounded, kind of morbid take on lit RPG is
Oh,
what
yeah.
I'm kind of gathering.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gritty,
Actually,
realistic.
crazily enough, because like I said, I'm a pantser. Well, first off, I started writing this story while I was waiting for Bone Dungeon to be edited, but I was also writing it while I was getting ready to move. So there was just a shit ton of like drunken nights of writing.
Drunken nights.
So the editing's pretty interesting. It's like
like
going
there's-
along smoothly, and then all of a sudden there's like, oh
Well,
my
so
god.
so
What I
the
have to
first
do now?
floor is demonic mobs. We have Dickens. We have suicidal sheep that blow up on contact called
Like worms.
Yeah, they're good finds.
Yeah.
They have a skill called Baja Blast was an achievement for them blowing up.
A
Sounds
Mountain Dew.
delicious.
A Mountain
They're
Dew
called
for you.
sacrificial lambs. They got an upgrade called Blood for the Blood God that caused a dot on players. It was good fun. Second floor, steampunk dinosaurs. That makes sense. Third
Oh,
floor
yeah.
was
Obviously.
Gotta have that.
The best kind.
Gotta have it.
third floor was stuffed animals. Fourth floor is haunted Caribbean adventure.
What does that even mean?
Well, so there's a Davy Jones boss who rolls around in a skeletal pirate ship with his crew. There's also
Obviously.
Z Kraken, which is the zombie Kraken.
Love that. Okay.
My god. And how many floors are on this tower?
We just hit the 5th floor, which is Arctic Cyberpunk.
Arctic Cyberpunk.
Very.
So there are
Cool.
mobs called
Cool.
penguins, which are cybernetically enhanced penguins who have sniper rifles and
Penguins.
they gain a damage buff if they're by themselves and they're sniping people. So they just kind of hang out in the snowy wilderness and snipe adventurers as they're marching along their merry way. It's good fun.
This sounds incredible.
Amazing.
You got
Amazing.
And then there's a Leroy Jenkins joke in. So every odd floor is a Jenkins boss. So we have
Every
Old
odd
Man-
floor.
We have Old Man Jenkins, the demonic farmer, on the first floor. We have Grandma Jenkins, who stitches together threadbare animals on the third floor. And then we have a Jenkins boss on the fifth floor who is actually a predator. Like Alien versus
As in
Predator.
Aliens and Predators?
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah,
I love that
Yeah.
you're like, you have this like mastery of taking like two things that like you would never see even in the same conversation and just being like, what if I just took these and just
Merge them
they're the
together.
same now? Like,
Oh, that reminds me. So the second floor, at one point, he upgraded his boss mob with an upgrade called Like a Sir, which gave the boss, which was obviously a steampunk T-Rex, a top hat and a monocle,
obviously.
and increased its intelligence, which then allowed for the unlocking of Velociraptors on the floor,
Colossal.
who have heat-seeking vision. Well, yeah, like thermal visioning for their aiming, and launch knowledge bombs as grenades at people.
Actual?
Obviously, he says. Obviously.
Obviously. Well, before the Velociraptor unlock, it was Velocity Raptors. For
Velocity.
yeah.
This, Jonathan, this sounds like an absolute riot. Everybody who's listening right now or watching, check out Dungeon Core Online by Johnathan Smidt. Definitely check out his other books on Royal Road as well. There's a bunch of them there. And Hallowed Bones, of course. Jonathan, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Yeah.
Thank you
It's
for
been an
having me.
absolute blast.
Oh, good fun. Also, the link that just got posted, we have Skeletal Fight Club t-shirts if you want a, good old be a part of the red or blue Skeletal Fight Club. We also have Infernal Bones t-shirts and Bone Dungeon t-shirts as well.
Go get your Portal t-shirts. Go get your Dungeon t-shirts.
I'm on the
Thank you,
link right
Jonathan. And I'm gonna get a t-shirt. I'm gonna get a t-shirt right now.
now. I'm gonna get a
Good
t-shirt
call.
too. Seriously
Right
on
on.
that.
Already made sales, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so
that's-
much, Jonathan.
I'm advertising. I never do
Yeah.
that.
Well,
I'm the worst
Good
about
on
that.
you. Good on you. Why not? Right?
It took like a year and a half for people to realize that I was also Glyhax. I wasn't just Johnathan Smidt. Like, the two books never combined.
People
They're like,
not like connected the dots.
they're like, wait, you wrote Bone Dungeon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, we can't wait to see more of that stuff get published, and
Right.
see what else you can.
All the good fun.
Yeah. What else you can do in the community, man.
I was gonna say, I
Awesome.
think I've got a bunch of like short stories too that I believe you guys and we might be chatting about.
Yeah, we might be chatting about
Because I did have a writing stream called Books and Bourbon that generated like 100 short stories.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I was
and
writing
bourbon.
drunkenly for
content.
people every Friday.
That sounds like so much fun. I think we can join forces here, and I can drunkenly narrate them.
That's better because I was usually writing them and then I was narrating them, and I'm nowhere near the voice actor you guys are. So it was interesting because I was drunk, so I was giving it 100%. But
Sometimes intention is everything,
Exactly.
He sat
All right,
down in the
well-
chair.
Are you guys? I emailed you guys. Oh shit! I fucking hate spiders.
Okay.
The next portion that we're going to be narrating. Oh, Jonathan is going to go away for a second, but he's going to come back for AI Dungeon.
Oh, that was the second.
Yeah, for just 1 second. That was it.
I'm
That was-
back, and then I'm
he
gone
just wanted
again.
to rearrange, so because he's
done.
he's
Thanks,
gonna
Jonathan.
be a part of the
Cheers.
cast.
See you in a
for
bit.
AI. Yeah,
Yep,
we'll be doing AI Dungeon with him here in a second. But you guys get your scripts for oh shit.
Getting the
I got
scripts
it.
out for oh shit dungeon. Getting the
Gamius
scripts.
is
and
in
we're
this. I
gonna
remember
make
this
it.
one.
Oh right, yes, Will Watt.
There can
Will
be
was
only
an amazing
one
Gamius.
to play Gamius.
Is this the
Genius?
thing that we did some of before?
Yes.
Yes.
I can't
Oh,
remember.
I
what
wasn't
did
here for
it,
this one.
but-
You were angry Dumbledore / angry Gandalf.
Right. Okay. So this is the same script. So hold on a second. Let me see if
Goodness gracious.
Dustin. I don't know if Dustin sent us a new script. I've only got this one. Let's see here. Let me go look at the poll.
Is this a super serial version?
Super
Yeah,
serial.
we're doing this seriously.
I'm super serial, guys.
I'm so
Super serial.
Okay. So I did not realize this was already that we hadn't gotten any more from him. So I don't know what to do. Maybe
New take?
Let's just improvise the rest of the story, and then it will become canon, and they'll just have to deal with it. We'll just rewrite
hold
history.
on.
Let's just do it right here and now. Let's just rewrite history, you guys.
I don't know what to do about this, guys. Maybe
Well,
maybe
hold on. I have a cunning plan. Okay, if you go to Amazon, the retail sample.
The retail
Look
sample.
inside. No,
Genius.
it's the
It's the
same
correct
fucking
answer.
thing. It's the same.
No, but chapter 2. We go
Is
to
there
chapter
more of
2.
it?
Oh, chapter 2 is here. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
What is it
Yes.
called?
All right,
on?
so I will
Probably won't be
narrate.
able to do all of the chapter.
Right. I'll go ahead and narrate.
I
And
can't
then
find it.
Yeah, somebody's supposed to link in the pre-vote chat. I can't
You
find it either.
got it here. There you are.
Thank you.
You
Very
are
much.
welcome.
That's really kind of you.
Welcome.
That is so kind of you.
and then let's
I've
see.
never
All
been more
so
touched in my life.
Will I
About
like
to be.
you as Gamius.
Cool.
I hope that he stays in chapter 2. We also have Devron, the suit guy, male, black, in his 30s. We have Bexley, female, white, 20s. Kevin, male, white, 20s, macho.
Looks like we have some
Macho.
goblins in chapter
So
2.
I'll be Dane and the narrator. I guess I'll be Bexley, and then you guys fight over the rest.
Who's left?
Well, is there gonna be, if you're taking
There won't
narrator,
be
you're gonna have
any
a
left.
lot of stage time there, Jeff.
G5?
Yeah. Well, that's what we promise people with this particular poll.
I guess
So-
that's
All
true.
right.
I guess that's true. Well, you know what? Being a male black in my 30s, I think that Devron won't be too much of a stretch for me.
Probably not.
So
I don't know if
will-
you've got that range, Justin.
Well,
Like,
I've been
that's a
practicing.
stretch.
I've been practicing my male blackness and my 30s-ness for about a year now.
For a while
So,
now.
all three at once. So
All right.
I'll give it a
I'll
shot.
let it pass. That's slightly more practice than I've had, I guess.
I will do goblins then.
Okay. All right. We'll hand out rules like candy when we get to them, because we don't have a cast
Perfect.
list for chapter 2.
No.
No, we do not.
All right.
I'm gonna ninja run and grab my cup of tea from the kitchen. I'll be right back.
Ninja run, hurry.
British people can't function without their tea.
I have tea. So, I'm more British than you guys right now, I guess.
Do it.
That is true. He who
Here goes.
holds the tea.
All right, so I'm switching my view. Got to shift my seat, and here goes. Dane broke free of the tight, gripping stone that had wrapped around him. Crumbled pieces of shale, pieces that looked identical to him, lay in green grass. His stone-carved face, a bit of statue that could withstand the test of time, revealed his eyes half shut, mouth contorted in protest. Warning would have been nice. The grass swayed in a soft breeze, dancing along rolling hills. Trees with bunched-up tops like cotton balls of pink leaves cast flittered shadows. Boulders and jutting stones carved through the land, surrounded by bushes sprinkled with flowers. There wasn't a person in sight. But what a wondrous world. The way the trees grew with twisting branches, the birds and their metallic blue wings shimmering in sunlight, the vast stretch of green and pink in every direction. Yet, What was he supposed to do? It was one thing to get lost on purpose, and a totally different thing to be truly lost. When he would drive up to the mountains, there had always been an anchor that tethered him to society, roads, trails, people, his compass, and the general understanding of where things were. Walk far enough east, and he'd hit the city. Easy peasy. That's all I needed. A map. And wasn't there an app for that? Oh, shit, brownies. Where was his phone? He had it right before being turned into a statue. His pockets were empty. The only things around him were the crumbled bits of shale. But it was supposed to be a piece of his soul. Could he have lost it? Dropped it on the mountaintop when he fell? Of course he did. That was what happened with all new phones. Get the pristine box, the pretty screen, and 5 minutes later, a crack down the center. Okay, real quick, guys, I hear an echo.
It's probably me.
Okay.
We can all mute till our parts.
Did they sell screen protectors in heaven? If there ever was a time for a handy Find My Phone app, this was that time. Then again, he wasn't on a mountaintop anymore. Who knew how far away Gamius had sent him? With that thought, he turned, and there, soaring into the stratosphere, was a dull gray of a shape, like an upside-down funnel, distinct from all other mountains, and no doubt the mountain he had, moments ago, been standing on. It would be impossible to climb that. 12 miles of cliffs. To even reach it would take weeks. Gamius? Dane tried and waited. The only reply was flittering leaves. Then, feeling silly for the thought, though enough on the verge of panic that it was worth a try, he called out, "Customer support?" Nothing. Just thinking heaven had game masters made him cringe. But there had obviously been a mistake, a glitch in the Matrix. Not only did he not get to choose a divinity, but he was also now without the single device that contained any hope of finding information. A footstep, tiny as it were, crinkled leaves. Dane turned, and a small green goblin, for lack of a better term, had his head poked out from behind a tree. He had a leather helmet that cupped his head, leaving enough room for 2 large ears, each nearly half the size of his head, lined with tiny brass ring piercings. The goblin arched an eyebrow, seemingly confused, then slowly moved back behind the tree, as if by moving slowly it couldn't be seen. "Korobora," came a whisper.
Tati.
Another goblin stuck her head out from the other side of the tree. This one didn't have a helmet. She had short, spiky black hair like a green Barbie doll with her hair chopped off. Her eyes were large and expressive, shimmering in tones of gray. She carried a tiny bow, an arrow knocked at the ready, quiver hanging at her side. The goblin squinted for a long moment. Something touched him, like a feather drawn through his chest. She loosened her arrow and looked back behind the tree.
Ow, Korobora. Ow, ow.
The other said, and jumped out with a wide, crooked tooth smile. With a wide, crooked tooth smile. They approached slowly, barely 3 feet tall. The archer looped the bow over her head into a more casual placement. The other goblin sheathed his sword. Well, sword for a goblin, more like a slightly long dagger to any human-sized person. The archer made a soothing, shushing sound. She held her hands out in front of herself, patting the air. When Dane didn't move, she smiled and hooked a thumb at her chest.
Aya, Desley.
She said.
Aya, knock.
The other said. Usually, in a video game, goblins weren't your friends. But having no weapon, no phone, and a complete lack of knowledge about how the world worked, Dane played along. He hooked a thumb toward his chest and said, Dane. The goblin smiled and nodded. Desley held out her hand, palm up, and mimed pushing buttons. My phone? She nodded again, ears perched as if in anticipation. I don't know where it is. Desley frowned and shook her head, then pointed to her ear. She didn't understand what he was saying. For a goblin, she seemed rather smart. She reached out her green little hands with long black nails and took his hand gently. She turned his palm up, pointed to her head, then squinted, as if in thought, before tapping his palm like it were the phone. Dane considered this for a moment. Things like telepathy or telekinesis just weren't real, though neither were turning into stone, teleportation, or imps and goblins. He looked at his hand and imagined his phone. His thoughts snagged on something deep within, like fishing and the line caught a nibble. He gave it a bit more thought, digging into that sensation. Then the phone was there. Nothing special about it. No shimmering lights, no brush of cold air, no crack down the center. It merely existed. Maybe heaven did have game masters. Desley laughed and threw her arms up in celebration. She tried to swipe the screen, though her finger went through the device, blurring the material. He swiped the screen, which filled with even more apps. The top left app was one for translation. He tapped it, and Desley held her hand out, palm up. The app had 3 little white balls projected off the screen. 2 were listed as free, but to buy another would cost 1 silver. Dane pulled on one of the balls, and it popped out of the screen. He dropped it into Desley's hand, and she ate it. He gave Nock a ball as well, then paused to consider if he needed to eat one as well, and if he did, what would it taste like, this white ball of light?
Oh, Dane of corruption.
Desley said. Corruption?
Yes, you like us, from shadow, not light.
Shadow. That's what his translation sounds like.
Yeah. Nock said, nodding vigorously. I don't understand. I'm not from this world, Dane said.
Ah,
Desley said, examining the ill-fitted vest.
You are fresh, Shadow, I see. But you, strong, fresh Shadow.
Fresh Shadow?
Yes, new. We show you the way.
And with that, she turned and hurried back to the tree they were hiding behind, waving for him to follow. The other side had a rather large hole, big enough even for him to crawl into. It was a tunnel that wound around the roots of the tree. Desley nodded and pointed to the hole.
Inside, you see soon.
There was a good chance he wouldn't see anything inside of a dark hole. There was also a good chance these goblins were just trying to get him back to where they could more easily butcher him. He pushed away, shaking his head. You know what? I'm good up here.
You must,
Desley said.
You are fresh, Shadow, lost, Shadow. We find you for reason and take you to Mother of Shadows.
Somehow that sounded even worse. Nock moved behind him and started pushing.
You go in hole, in hole, in hole. Nock,
Desley said.
He is strong, Shadow, you respect.
Bushes shook behind them, maybe 20 or so feet away. The 2 goblins immediately drew their weapons, crouching. What's wrong? Dane asked in a whisper, really wishing he had something sharp or dense or anything at all. Why hadn't Gamius given him a weapon? Or was that what the divinity was supposed to do? Desley shushed him, then nocked an arrow. Nock, on the other hand, drew his sword and moved off to the side. He put 2 fingers in his mouth and whistled sharply. A boar, no smaller than the 2 goblins were tall, broke out of the bush. It had large, jagged tusks, and its head was covered in bone like an exoskeleton. The boar completely ignored Nock and charged Dane instead. He yelped and ran perpendicular to the boar, only to have it change direction and give chase. Desley yelled something that was lost to the pounding of fat hooves on dirt. He should have run around the tree. An arrow whistled from behind and struck the boar. A -4 in red materialized, and the boar's health... Health? The boar had a health bar showing 49 out of 53. At this point, the boar slammed into the back of his legs, launching him up and over itself. He twisted in the air, yelling random profanities, and landed heavily on his back. A dense pain shot through his body, taking his breath with it. A moment later, the pain was completely gone. This sent a series of worrying thoughts that he might be paralyzed. That mere minutes into his that mere minutes into this afterlife, this heaven, and he would soon be dead, or maybe worse, forever a cripple in a fantasy world that begged to be explored, begged to have its mysteries discovered. Could he move? Could he feel his toes? Yes. This all happened in a span of 3 seconds, long enough for the board to turn and start its charge again, and just long enough to see the -6 above him fade, displaying his own health bar as 34 out of 40.
Hey!
Woo!
All right. So, we just get to see a little bit more of the mystery. That is, oh shit, I fucking hate spiders. By Dustin Tigner. Wrong Divinity, dude. This book is just blowing my mind. I don't know what is going on with it. I might just read it recreationally. It's weird. It's weird. And
Recreational reading is a gateway
yeah, thank
to
you
other
guys.
recreational.
Thank you guys so much for voting that one up, for getting. I think maybe Dustin probably nominated it again and got people to vote on it. So thank you, Dustin, for bringing more viewers to us. And now, last but not least, let's go on to Gary's games. Let's get into some AI Dungeon, and let's bring Mr. Johnathan Smidt. He is a professional dungeon.
That's right. I'm the professional dungeon master here. We're gonna need to lay out a safe word.
Okay.
That's sounding like my kind of fun.
So this kind of remembers us from last time. It remembers our name is Maximum Boutte. It does think we're a half-demon bard now. And I'm sure we weren't that last time. We weren't from Kensei, Kingdom of Kadan. We were sent to Kadast to get supplies for the army, apparently. And we're surprised to find that Kadast was so nice. We've decided to stay there and enjoy the nightlife. We even took a break from the brothel we were in to enjoy a visit to the local tavern. However, someone did not want you enjoying yourself, as you would soon find out. So let's just go and order my screen down. So will go first, Jeff, Justin, Jonathan. That sound good?
Yep.
Perfect.
Perfect.
So we can either do... Yes, we can do something, we can say something, or we can add a story point, like the building blew up or something.
Gotcha.
So, okay. Will, would you like to do, say, or add a story point?
Okay, so we're in this tavern. Wait, from the brothel you're in to enjoy a visit at a local tavern. Someone doesn't want us enjoying ourselves. So should we add... And I want to say something. I want to open this up by him saying, "Oh no, not again."
Oh no, I want to delete that. Oh no, not again. You say, "Oh no, not again." It's thinking. Oh wow, that's the longest it's thunk.
You blew it.
You look around, but you can't see who's coming. So many people have been walking into the tavern that you've gotten used to seeing strange things.
I feel like it ignored me. I feel like A.I Dungeon was like, don't know what to do with that. So, thank you.
I wonder if it's the exclamation marks.
Thinking again.
Maybe.
Like,
here we go. A hooded figure walks in. You don't recognize him, but then again, you've never seen a wizard in person before.
And how do we know he's a wizard?
Well, Jeff, do we do, say, or story point something?
Okay.
How do we know it's a wizard?
I'm
Sometimes
going to ask
you just
the
know.
person next to me who the wizard is.
Let's see if this works. You ask the person next to you who the wizard is. Oh, AI Dungeon. What have you done? The figure is hooded, so you can't see who it is. You just had a strike-up conversation with him. Hey there, who are you?
Okay.
Justin.
Okay, let's do story.
Okay.
The man ignores me and goes straight to the bar.
A man
We're in
of
a
action.
tavern, right?
I like him. Already.
Yeah, we are in a tavern.
Okay.
Anything else? Or is he just
Nope,
he's
that's
he's
it.
full on here for a drink? The man ignores me and goes straight to the bar. I should say. He tells the barkeep something, who nods and goes to a room in the back. The man orders a drink and sits at a table by himself, far away from anyone else.
This is like that Skyrim plot point. We're about to get recruited into the Brotherhood.
Let's go. We're a bard, so let's go story. That we pull out our loot and we strike up a tale of a wizard who's coming to a bar.
God, I'm a terrible typer. Come on. Okay. Pull out your loot and strike up a tale about a wizard who came into a bar.
Love this, getting self-referential here. It's good. It's good.
Coming into the bar, you find a man in a grey hooded cloak with a staff of onyx. His face is covered by a mask. You strike up a conversation. So there are two now.
Flash forward.
Hello.
Pass the song.
Okay. All right. So I think clearly it's setting us up to make them have babies together. We're gonna start breeding wizards now. So let's see.
That would be a do.
Do? Why do we want to?
I mean, it's
The wizards make sweet love with each other to the sound of loot.
Oh wait, it's Will. It's Will right now.
Will's,
actually.
no, it's Will's turn. I'm just saying.
Oh, is it?
Discussing with the group.
Yeah.
What
this is our metagaming portion where it's like, I think we should do this.
Yeah.
They need to have. If we can coerce them into making sweet love. I think that'd be
Obviously, the guy with Obsidian with Onyx is a dragon. Duh.
I tell the grey hooded cloak man that there's someone out back who thinks he's really cute. But he was too shy to tell him much.
Oh no!
It's fine. It's implied. It's implied that he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna sneak out back." I'm like, "Oh, don't tell him. You tell him for me." It was one
the
of
man
those.
turns around and looks at the back door of the tavern. He then turns back and shrugs. I don't care. He seems nice. You point outside, and the man nods.
Oh, so which one nodded? The one who I was referring to?
Gray hooded staff of onyx. He's now like, he seems nice. I don't care.
They took time to describe his staff.
Yeah.
Right.
So, let's go to the other wizard.
Okay.
And tell him the same thing. Oh, this dude over here with the onyx staff is really into you. We're wizard breeders.
Oh no, my caps lock is on. Get up.
All right, sorry guys, I gotta take this.
Super rad.
I don't think it's gonna recognize your.
The man puts down his drink and focuses on you for a moment. I can't talk long. I have to go to find someone. He gets up and leaves quickly.
Is it the guy with the onyx? Because of course he needed to go.
I think we need to say that.
Wait.
Go to him. He needs you.
You say, wait. But he is gone. As your party, our party. Oh no, we're in the realm of Kadar now. We were in Kadast first.
Wow.
Oh man.
We moved
No,
quickly.
we were in Kadarn.
No, we were in Kadast. Sent to Kadast. Kadast was
I see.
nice.
But
this is the kingdom of Kadarn. This is the realm of Kadar.
There's a group of demons and...
Yeah, it's a realm within the kingdom of Kadarn called Kadar. And Kadast is a city in Kadar.
I feel like A.I Dungeon is wildly throwing us off this.
Maybe some time passed. We failed in our matchmaking mission, so we're like, fuck this. Let's go back to Kadar and Rome. Yeah. Oh AI. No, a group of demons.
A.I Dungeon.
Where did they even come from?
A.I Dungeon, you are so low.
Did they come from the Bone Dungeon?
So, say,
yes.
Hail demons, to where do you march? Well, hail kin.
Ooh.
Hail kin?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're half demon.
Yep.
Right?
What am I doing? Capital letter for?
Where do you march?
Where do you march?
Oh
no!
To where do you march?
To you march.
Hail King Kinza, for it is my humble duty to conquer your lands for hell. Hail Master Snare!
Demon Master.
All right, cool. So it's time for us to breed some demons, I guess.
Should we just fight the demons? It's Will, it's your turn.
Okay, bear with me on this one. I go to a local gas station.
All right.
And pick out a greeting card with the words, "I think you're swell. Will you be mine?" Be spelt B-E-E.
Oh, will you B-E mine?
Yes. And with a picture of the bee on the front.
This is totally The Simpsons. Remember?
Yeah.
Remember this episode?
I choose you.
Yeah.
I take it to the Demon King. Oh, sorry. I sign it. Grey Wizard with onyx staff.
Dude, we gotta hook somebody up. Damn. Yeah.
And
give it to the Demon Master?
give it to the Demon Master.
The demon. Yeah, master. Okay. Demon Master Snare. Okay.
No. Okay. Seems to ignore the card, but the king seems to love it. And you have him try on a few other cards.
Before picking what he seems to like.
We're now a halfling.
A halfling? What?
Thank you, little halfling. You're like, I'm a
Is he like a giant king?
I guess.
Jeff, does you?
Okay. Okay. So this is all throwing me off. It's like they're trying as hard as they can not to have us. Very, very, very shy AI.
It's perplexing.
Okay, so I'm gonna say you're welcome, and there's much more where that came from. And then I'm gonna lead him back to the tavern I was at in where is it? Yeah. Yes.
You're welcome. Let us go back to the tavern in Cadast. Yes! Yay! Go to the tavern with a cup already brimming with alcohol. I just bring it in with us.
Apparently,
I don't need anything else. This thing's fucking full.
Don't worry about it, guys.
But the
Got
place
my
is packed.
own.
I don't
I'll
think
just
they can
take a
regulate.
seat in the corner.
We actually just saw the army showing up, and we're sitting there like full flask, just like, oh, we should go talk to this guy.
Well, shit.
Hey,
dude, how you doing?
Oh my
nice
god,
day for some mischief.
You're my best friend.
I
know this
drink.
tavern.
You got a drink? Let's go drink.
Drink
well-
all over the place.
Cup is already full. You take your group into the tavern. Wait, so who's saying what will you drink? My cup is already full, brimming with alcohol. Do not trouble yourself about it.
I would imagine.
You know what?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna try the loot again. And I'm gonna do I jump on the table and shout. In that case,
sorry.
How about a little Barry White?
All right.
This one always gets the juices flowing.
Shut it, Carlos.
King Carlos.
Wait, so the king brought the demon master along.
So there.
Yeah.
But I thought his name was King Kinzer.
Well, there was King Kinzer.
And now King Carlos.
And then, yeah, well, we got 2 kings.
And he shut us down real fast.
Okay. All right,
let's
do.
Doesn't like Barry White. Who doesn't like Barry White?
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do.
I guess he's an Isaac Hayes guy.
We're gonna do.
We're gonna do.
Can it be both?
We are going
Apparently
to
not.
down our drink in a single go. And then grab his drink it as well.
The king or the demon master?
The demon master. Can we say on top of doing, or we just do?
I think, yeah, we can.
All right, and then say, it is you who has not drunk. Do you dare insult the king?
In slut. I always write in slut.
In slut.
That's what we're trying to do.
Thing,
We're
right?
trying to slut everybody.
Right. Are we good to go?
Yeah.
Hup. Master drink. The demon master stands up and pours himself a glass of alcohol. He downs it in one. Enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. A little peer pressure goes a long way.
Enough.
I got the first drink. It's up to you guys to continue.
How many more rounds do we have left? We'll probably do another few, yeah? Will, would you like to say do or story?
Story.
Story!
Suddenly, the door to the back room flies open.
Back room.
Back room.
Back room.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I'm so fucking stupid. There we go.
And the first wizard bursts out, runs to the demon master, and takes him in a passionate embrace.
He's done waiting.
He's done waiting.
Oh, it works best for if you always use story.
Oh.
Does it really? Oh.
The king is not ready. He's only had one drink. We need to give him at least 3 more before he agrees to this. Didn't realize a threesome would be so complicated.
I only hinted about you. I didn't tell him about our true love.
I shall lead the charge, but...
Okay. I'm going to tell them about the gray wizard with the onyx staff.
Onyx staff? What do you want to say about him?
Tell them their union cannot be complete.
Your union.
For this wizard is betrothed to another.
I mean, we did down 2 tankards.
Oh, well, I can't spell that word. Ha! Another wizard. I am not another wizard.
My union was with that. That's a good line.
I think the demon master is going to kill everybody in the bar. Maybe.
Uh-oh.
It's a murder suicide.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
I've seen enough crime shows to know where this is going.
The demon master's eyes start to glow red.
Oh my goodness.
And
I'm so sorry. I'll finish it. He rises from his seat and
my
lays
God!
Oh no! He rips the bar owner's throat out and throws him against the wall.
Oh,
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
it's because his eyes started turning red. Oh, the crowd loves it.
Is
All right,
What are we
John.
gonna do?
You take you take the bar owner's lifeless body. And throw it at the Demon Master. Telling him not to waste fresh meat. But
God. I'm sorry. Fucking lag.
That trigger finger.
Demon, don't you recognize dead men? The Demon Master turns, his face a mask of rage. He raises his hand, and you feel a dark cloud over you. You vomit, but not from the alcohol.
This is on you.
Okay.
This is on you with the fast enter button.
Ooh. Good. Oh, nice. We get that as a bird?
I don't know. Oh, no.
You do know demons are immune to fire, right?
I love that he just grabbed our hand. He's like, ugh.
We're writhing in
That'll
pain.
teach you. Now your hands all
But
burn.
you won't give up.
Will?
Okay.
Um,
I'm going to wait extra long before I... Do you want story or say or do?
Story.
Right.
Before anything else can happen. Are we still inside the? Are we still inside the tavern?
Well, the tavern got kind of blown up.
It's just us and the Demon Master. Well,
having a fight.
You know, maximum boutte and the Demon Master.
Before anything else can happen, the roof lifts up, exposing a cloudy sky above. And the terrifying face of the god of cloudy skies.
Ears down.
Peers down upon us. A look of anger upon his brow.
Is that it?
That's it. Yeah.
Cool.
Send.
Now he checks.
Beautiful.
After he started this fight on us.
God of Cloud.
Wait, so who's saying that? Who's saying that?
You fool.
Demon Master?
The Demon Master, I think.
You have angered the entire heavenly host. Okay, so.
Oh, yeah, that's us saying that. Because the Demon Master lets go of you and backs away.
Okay, so you start to play a love song to clouds.
Because he asked for it. Because he's
not a love snog. with your lute. And you with a piercing gaze into the Demon Master's eyes.
That it?
That's it. That's it.
Oh, okay. He becomes dizzy and you cast a wave dash, hoping to escape. You get outside but see several demons waiting for you. Hi, what's going on?
What's going on?
Okay, let's wrap it up with this round.
Two.
Two more people. Justin and then Johnathan, and then we're good.
Hey, what's going on? I say.
Oh, that's what we're going to say.
Your Demon Master and the god of love, ? I think they're in love.
That it?
That's it.
Wait, do you mean the god of love or the god of cloud?
Gotta love now.
It's the god of love now.
That's what I meant to say.
It's alright. Like, we've taken
not
some
in
creative
love.
license with names in this already.
Your eternal longing for love would not be so great if you were not in love. Okay. Johnathan.
Story.
End the story for us.
Story. The demon master looks up to the clouds, claiming if he were truly in love, a sign would show it.
Nice.
And in response, a bolt of lightning rushes down from the cloudy god, embracing him, and it's electrifying. Energy.
Energy.
Charging him with the power of 1,000 embrace.
Of what?
Of 1,000
embraces.
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 For now I have the power of 1,000 embraces.
Anything else?
Get snuggly, bitch.
No, that's it.
Oh, that's great.
He laughs.
He laughs.
He's
He is
nervous.
now nervous.
And an open-ended ending.
He explodes in a shower of bunnies. Oh.
This AI is like, what the fuck, guys?
Gray dust and some blood. But I'm not in love. Ha ha! Well, you're the winner.
Looks like
He's not even
up again.
not even in love when he bursts into a shower of bunnies. What
There
a
we
poor
go.
soul.
Yeah, you would think someone would need to be in love for that kind of thing, but I guess not. Love has bewildered us
Conquered all.
all again. Thank you, Johnathan, for joining us for that AI dungeon.
Yes, thank you.
It's
Thank you
good
guys
fun.
for being on this show. Thank you, everybody in the audience, for hanging out with us. I hope you had a good time. And if you did, please share this video. Please share our YouTube channel. Subscribe. And check out our website, soundbooththeater.com. Sign up for our newsletter. And go check out Johnathan Smitt's or Glyax's, Glyax's Royal Road page or his Patreon. Check out a lot of stuff, guys. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of moral to this story.
Do all the things.
Indeed.
Check out a book from the library every now and again.
And
expand your mind.
Watch Sesame Street.
Check out of your hotel so you don't get charged for an extra night.
Yeah. Very important. Very important.